As the year comes to an end, I have realized that I own way too many clothes for just one person, and there needs to be a change. Welcome to today's video, Vlogmas episode 5, but there is a little switch up from a regular vlog. I'm still going to include this in Vlogmas because it's December and it's holiday season, so I hope you enjoy. As much as I am a woman and a feminine person and love clothes, dressing up cute, buying clothes, I just have way too many. I have a closet full of clothes, I have 3 drawers full of clothes, as well as 2 underbed storage bags of clothes. And that, my friend, is much too many. I am very happy to say that 99% of my clothes are thrifted, but it's really not an excuse for how much clothes I've accumulated and kept. Getting dressed has become something that's more stressful than fun, and I spend way too many time trying to pick an outfit to just wear the same pieces over and over and over again. So today we're going to change that. I'm going to declutter my closet and try on every single piece that I own, which is a very daunting task. I'm a little scared. So I am going to go through tops, jackets, sweaters, bottoms, skirts, and all of that fun stuff. And I'm going to be very strict with myself. I'm going to create a wardrobe that stimulates inspiration, makes me feel good about myself, and allows me to pick out outfits with ease. I know this will also lead to a better overall state and more mental clarity because I won't have to have clothes everywhere. I actually have so many clothes that they don't all fit into my storage. My laundry hamper is often full, and then I do laundry, and then there's no room for the clean clothes. That is a little embarrassing. As I try on these pieces, I'm going to talk through the whole process and talk about what I want in my wardrobe, what I no longer want, what resonates, my mental process for this experience, and how I'm going to maintain this energy in my closet. Hopefully avoid ever having to do this again, to this extent. So let's start with tops. In my dream wardrobe, what am I looking for? I want the values of my dream wardrobe to be comfort, quality, wearability, and simplicity. I think it helps to have the words that we're looking for, so when we're trying on pieces and kind of like the item, we go back to these words and see if they really fit what we're looking for. And of course, cuts and fits, how I feel in the piece. Does it make me confident? Or does it make me feel like I have to constantly pull at things? Is it a piece that I can only see myself wearing for a specific occasion? I live in the mountains, I'm probably not going to have this said occasion, which is sad, but it's reality. The cuts and fits that I like on my body, that I feel the best in when I wear them, are wide leg pants, flared pants. I love a good low rise and high rise, and for my body, I prefer form-fitted tops and then something wider at the bottom. Finding silhouettes that feel the best and make me feel the most confident allow me to make easier decisions when choosing my outfit because I know I can have the small top, big bottom formula, and I can just mix and match my different pieces. I also take into account my environment, where I live, the weather where I live. I live in the mountains in a town with less than 1,000 people. Therefore, as much as it's fun to own really cool statement pieces and flashy items, I'm not going to find myself wearing them as much because that's just not the environment that I live in. I still want to have a few more flashy pieces because I do travel, but for the day-to-day basis, it's good to have more comfortable and casual pieces because that's what I'm going to be wearing on the majority of my days. When I picture my most highest self and who I want to be, the energy I want to give off, I always come back to wanting to feel like a fairy. I'm a very lanky, tall person, and I feel like the more flowy, feminine pieces do make me feel very confident and flatter my body type. And I like to keep that into account too. I think color is so important in personal wardrobes, and I've realized that there is colors that I really, really like on myself and colors that I absolutely do not like. And I think this will help me in the future with shopping decisions and choosing to not purchase as much. If it's a really cute piece, but it's a color that I know isn't my favorite, then I'm able to just let go and detach from that item because I know the color is just not something that feels good on me. I love earthy colors. I love browns, greens, but I also love rich colors, rich darker colors. So burgundies, navy blues, just those rich shades. If you are into astrology as well, I've realized that I actually do resonate with the colors that are said to be the most expressive for my signs. So I think that can be fun if you're into that, to kind of play around and see if those resonate with you as well. I feel the most powerful and confident when I am actually dressed in my rising sign colors. So the Scorpio energy is very dark and mysterious, and I've always been drawn to that, but never really knew why. So I also love to wear blacks. I feel like me as a person is very light, but for some reason I'm just very drawn to the dark, and I enjoy dressing in them. It makes me feel the most sexy and powerful. I went through a phase of not wearing black because it felt too dark for my energy, but I think I'm in a place now where I kind of like that contrast. The colors that I do not like on myself are bright colors and pinks. I always feel so bad about myself when I wear a bright color. I also have tried to wear baby pinks as an alternative, but even that, I feel a little awkward. I really don't know what it is. I love baby pink as a color. I grew up doing ballet, wearing ballet pink tights and shoes, but I just don't like the color on me. I don't feel my best self when I wear it. As I get older too, I'm just craving a simpler closet. The less is more mentality. I've thought about leaning more into a capsule wardrobe. I recently traveled to Europe and only brought a 45-liter backpack with a capsule wardrobe for 5 weeks, and that kind of inspired me. It was so much more fun to get dressed because I knew I only had a few options, but when I was tired of those outfits, I was able to mix and match and really play around with what I had, versus having so much pieces, but none of them really go together. It is overwhelming. So now that I know what colors I like on myself, what cuts and silhouettes, what aesthetics I go towards, I also think it's fun to look for style inspirations. Most of my style inspiration comes from people that I look up to, whether that's musicians or actresses on TV shows, or whether it's a butterfly or a color on a tree that sparks inspiration for me. It can be anything, or even the energy that a person gives off. It doesn't even have to be their clothes necessarily. I think that if you're attracted to an energy that someone gives off and you feel like you want to give off that same energy, sometimes that just naturally makes you gravitate towards the clothing that they're wearing. So a few that I wrote down that I just think they're really cool women that I look up to, or I just simply love their taste in clothes, was of course Jane Birkin, which I feel like is a pretty solid hit for everybody. She has very simple pieces, and there's a focus on cuts and silhouettes versus statements. She also has core pieces in her closet, and mind you, I'm referring to her younger self, but the Birkin basket, the fur coat, the wide leg pants, the little white top, the little baby doll dress, these are all things that we think of when we think of Jane Birkin's style. But I think something that's important as well is the energy that she gives off. Her style is very effortless, and that's something that I'm really drawn to. I think that's actually the main thing that I'm drawn to in people and their fashion, is how effortless it feels. I don't listen to Claire's music at all, but lately I've seen her Charm Tour outfits, and I am obsessed with those outfits. They're so simple, but all the cuts are so flattering, and the colors also really stick out to me. So that's something that I've been kind of taking inspiration from. And then of course I have my Joni Mitchell. So while I'm trying on all my clothes in my closet, I'm going to be asking myself questions. Mindlessly putting on a top, just looking at it and making a decision on that is not enough. If I want to really cut down on my wardrobe, I have to ask these questions. So the main questions I'm going to ask are, will this piece go with pieces I own? How many times can I wear this piece? How would I style this? Is this a trend or something I really like? Does it spark inspiration looking at it? If I have a piece that only goes with one bottom, there's really no point in keeping it because I'm only going to wear it that once. I think lots of us attach ourselves to certain clothing items too if they have a memory or a future event that we've kind of romanticized in our head, but that attachment just leads to unhappiness overall. I feel the most free when I have less. And when I let go of things, I feel more confident and sure of myself. It's less baggage. So if you're struggling to get rid of certain pieces, I suggest coming up with a few questions that really confront yourself and work for you in your situation. In today's society as well, I think it's very important to talk about consumerism and how much it affects us. If you are on social media, even if that's not that often, you're probably getting hit with ads and sales in other people's clothes and what they're buying. This just exposes us to way too much. I'll see something on someone and think it looks so cute, and then I have this feeling that, oh, I need this. I have plenty of pieces in my closet already. I don't need that piece just because they have it, just because I see them looking beautiful in it. I think that consuming less content can help this, but also finding creators that aren't as consumerism based. If you're watching videos that are people that constantly are doing hauls or are always keeping up with the trends, then it's hard to not get there yourself. I struggle with this personally because I'm so interested in fashion. I tend to watch people for the fashion content, but so much of this is very overstimulating and overwhelming and puts me in the mindset that I need more when we really don't. It also takes out our own personality out of style because we're constantly trying to look like someone else. When I take breaks from social media or cut back on that content, I start to take my inspiration elsewhere and feel better about my own personal style. I do want to also put out there that anything that I do get rid of will actually be sold on my Depop page or donated to thrift stores. So nothing that is going in today's video is going to be thrown away. Never. You'll never see me doing that. I think the reason why I have gotten to the amount of clothes that I own is because I sell clothes on Depop. So I have this excuse that, well, I have to thrift at the thrift store for Depop and source clothes for my page, but that kind of leans into ending up keeping some of the pieces that I'm supposed to be selling or shopping for myself at the same time as shopping for my page. And what seems like 1 or 2 pieces a week ends up just being too much at the end of the year. I think it's really easy when you thrift to feel like, oh well, the item's so cheap, it's sustainable, but just because an item is cute doesn't mean it's for you. And I struggle with this concept so much. I'm just a girl. I like cute things, but it doesn't mean it's for me. And I want to continue this mentality for the rest of time and become more disciplined with myself. I'm getting older, I'm 24, I'm maturing, and I want my style to mature with me, so that's the goal. I think when you have an appreciation for clothing, especially vintage clothing, it kind of ends up like a museum of pieces that are so beautiful, so cool, but then you never wear them because you have so many. So I hope after this video I feel a lot more clear about the decisions I made and about the size of my closet. And I also hope this inspired you to maybe do the same in your wardrobe if you're feeling overwhelmed about how much clothes you have. I love fun pieces, so I'm probably going to keep a few pieces that maybe don't make sense to some people. As much as I would like a capsule wardrobe, I want a capsule wardrobe with some personality. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit different, but I desperately needed to do this, and December just felt like the perfect time. A fresh start for the new year, a good declutter. I feel like it's a good time. Thank you so much for being here, as always, and I'll see you in my next video.